to the one and only vice presidential candidate debate. As you have come to know, Wink News is Campaign Central, and this is a live look at the spin room about 15 minutes now after the debate ended. The stakes are off the charts for Ohio Senator JD Vance and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Their job selling and supporting Donald Trump and Kamala Harris for president.
So how'd they do? Wink News anchor Claire Galt joins us live. Claire, you can't recap it all, but what stuck out to you?
Emma, the voters say the cost of living, immigration, abortion, health care, taxes, and the wars in Israel and Ukraine are their priorities. So I want to start with abortion because Donald Trump's #2 made a stunning admission. Let's listen to him and then how Kamala Harris's choice for VP responded.
As a Republican who proudly wants to protect innocent life in this country, who proudly wants to protect the vulnerable, is that my party, we've got to do so much better of a job at earning the American people's trust back on this issue where they frankly just don't trust us. And I think that's one of the things that Donald Trump and I are endeavoring to do. I want us as a Republican Party to be pro-family in the fullest sense of the word. I want us to support fertility treatments. I want us to make it easier for moms to afford to have babies. I want it to make it easier for young families to afford a home so they can afford a place to raise that family. And I think there's so much that we can do on the public policy front just to give women more options.
We're pro-women. We're pro-freedom to make your own choice. We know what the implications are to not be that. Women having miscarriages, women not getting the care, physicians feeling like they may be prosecuted for providing that care. And as far as making sure that we're educating our children and giving them options, Minnesota's a state with one of the lowest teen pregnancy rates. We understand that too. We know that the options need to be available, and we make that true. We also make it, we're a top 3 state for the best place to raise children. But these two things to try and say that we're pro-children, but we don't like this, or you guys are pro-abortion, that's not the case at all.
No one argued the cost of living is too high and someone has to do something to make life easier. But JD Vance and Tim Walz argued who is better equipped to make life better for Americans. Vance said Trump did it once, he can do it again. Walz said Trump thinks that he has all the answers. He does not.
I've made a note of this. Economists can't be trusted. Science can't be trusted. National security folks can't be trusted. Look, if you're going to be president, you don't have all the answers. Donald Trump believes he does. My pro tip of the day is this. If you need heart surgery, listen to the people at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, not Donald Trump. And the same thing goes with this. And I ask you out there, teachers, nurses, truck drivers, whatever, how is it fair that you're paying your taxes every year and Donald Trump hasn't paid any federal tax in the last 15 years? And the last year as president. That's what's wrong with the system.
Because she's been the vice president for 3.5 years. She had the opportunity to enact all of these great policies. And what she's actually done instead is drive the cost of food higher by 25%, drive the cost of housing higher by about 60%. Open the American southern border and make middle-class life unaffordable for a large number of Americans. If Kamala Harris has such great plans for how to address middle-class problems, then she ought to do them now. Not when asking for a promotion, but in the job the American people gave her 3.5 years ago. And the fact that she isn't tells you a lot about how much you can trust her actual plans.
Now, one important takeaway, JD Vance was not an attack dog like a lot of people predicted. Tim Walz did not bumble his way through the 100 minutes, and both men were, for the most part, polite for the large majority of the debate. There was just one cut the mic moment when both candidates were talking about immigration. Now, early voting is already underway in some states. Here in Southwest Florida, we can begin casting ballots on October 21st, Emma.
Thank you, Claire. Well, the flood